Good morning, everybody. It's June, November. I'm up here with Sweet Tea. We're here at the farm at the Abbeville Airport, and I'm gonna fly this morning, see what we can see. Sun's just coming up, so let's see what we can find. Okay, so right as I take off, right here, these first 3 deer that I see, those are definitely a buck and 2 doe. And as I zoom in, I want you to notice how the doe is being chased by the buck. Yeah, so watch that for a second. The buck will end up heading off in a different direction, and the 2 doe will head off on their own path. Continuing to follow and pan around, we look at these deer. They're all bedded right up against the wood line here. Count the deer with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. Those last 2 deer are the 2 doe we looked at earlier with the buck. The sun is just starting to come up, and you can see the doe there standing in the road, and they have just left that buck. There's the buck as he walks away, and the doe head off in their direction. Now switching to food plot 2, you see me panting to the north, and look at all of these deer that are right on the edge of the wood line, right there. It's amazing how they're all bedded right at that edge, right as the sun is coming up. It's a very interesting look. Now I'm looking north just to the south of the barn. Look at this doe that's bedded right here, right so close to the barn. And look at how she's just tucked up in there. You can't hardly find her for now. As we head north a little bit, just to the west of 3, we find a little buck out here. Look at him. Look at that. Good looking little buck. Out eating in the sunshine. Notice this mama and a baby out in a clear cut this morning. Always fun to look at what they're eating. Now I've had to change batteries and I've taken off again, and I want you to look. I'm flying right over one, and I'm looking back north again, and we've got these deer that are in the same cut. We found these deer or other deer bedded in the same place earlier. That's our number 1 food plot. And there's the deer. Looks like there's 3 of them in there. This gives a pretty good shot of the terrain. You can see the log jams and the layovers and the brush that the deer love to eat. That's a little one right there. There's a little buck. You can just pick out his little spiky spikes there. Now we find ourselves back at the barn. I've actually flown the drone down actually fairly close to the ground. Not on top of, but fairly close to this deer, so I could zoom in and actually see it. It is bedded in stuff that is so thick that, I mean, look at her sitting there. And she's literally right next to the barn. Here's a little buck to look at by 5. His left side looks good. His right side's got just one little cow horn. Yep, here we are at 8. If you want to just kill a deer, this is your spot. Look at them. I got this sped up double fast, but they're skittish and jumping around. We'll watch them here for a second. I wonder what's causing her to jump. It could be, I think, that maybe she's teaching the baby how to, I don't know, it's wild. There's nobody up there, and the drone surely isn't scaring her. Look at them, nosed up. Another mama and baby that is nosed up there eating corn, boy. They're enjoying that corn. Yep, that's on 8. There's the camera stand. Matter of fact, while I was flying, this dad was texting me that he had deer out in 8. And here's the other end. Here's a couple deer. They're working their way north. That's kind of up a hill coming up to that food plot. Look at these young guys hanging around the edge of the woods fixing to go in. One point you can see them fighting with a bird. Two young little bucks learning about life. Look at this group of deer just north of 2, hanging out in the sunshine. Now look at this buck all alone. Look at where he's decided to bed at. Very close to 3. Down there at the end by the barn, you know. That's where he's decided to hang out there. Right as the sun's come up, he has bedded down right there. This doe here is eating the berries and the leaves off of the American beautyberry. It is a shrub that has grown up here on its own in our cutover, and the deer really, really enjoy those berries and the leaves. My buddy tells me that it comes out of the mint family. The berries are purple, and they are edible, although it says that to humans they're not very tasty. Most people put them in a jelly. So that is the American beautyberry, one of the most liked bushes on our recent cutover land here in Alabama. We find this little guy hanging out in the sunshine by 5. And now close to 2, north of 2, I find this bachelor group of bucks going into the woods, and I decide to follow them and see what happens. And they go in here and they obviously meet up with another rival buck, because what ensues is an interesting thing to look at. That'll do it for this episode, All American Adventures. We're doing the deer scouting with the DJI Mavic 3T here in Abbeville, Alabama, at our property we call the farm at the Abbeville Airport. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Please comment, talk to me, talk to Dad. Give us your thoughts. We appreciate it very much.